Hello, and welcome back to CardboardDecoy Plays Factorio. Sorry, I totally fumbled over my buttons. I was like, hey, it's time to go, and I did my countdown, and then I realized I was still paused, and I was like, wait, now what? It was really silly. Either way, so, let's see, we finished our new foundry, and now we've got quite a bit of iron and copper coming in at a fairly good rate. It looks like we're consuming a lot of it somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where that is exactly. Are we making batteries? Yeah, that's what it is. It's being consumed by our battery production up here. That's fine. And we've also got the start of a drone network, so we should probably start making use of those. So, first things first, let's go over here. We've got requester chests, passive provider chests, active provider chests, and storage chests. And I'll go ahead and explain these as I make them. So, number one, active provider chest. Wherever you put that, it actively outputs into storage chests. Well, and otherwise it sits there. If you don't have any storage chests, it'll just stay there. So it doesn't really do anything. But it adds it to the network so that it can be utilized in other places by the requester chest. So yes, active provider chest automatically puts everything in a storage chest, which is usually somewhere central. Otherwise, it's basically a passive provider chest, which just stays there. Passive provider chests work like active provider chests, except for the fact that they don't actually move it to the storage chest. And then you have requester chests, which, once I build one, we'll see in action fairly quickly, I think. So let's go ahead and we are going to need quite a few of everything. So let's make sure we have enough for 4 requester chests. Let me go back over here, pick up some steel. We'll have to expand our steel production as well here pretty soon, it looks like. So, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, cool. And then we'll have active provider chests, which we'll need a lot of. Let's just start with a few. Few more of these. Okay, cool. So, let's go ahead and have these guys automatically assembling themselves. I think that's the best start to this process. So, first things first, we'll need gears, steel, and pipe set up. And we can do that really easily over here. First, active provider chest, steel. There we go. That's now an active provider chest. It just swaps them out, so our wooden chest ended up in our inventory. And yeah, it'll continue to make stuff, supposedly. Oh, I killed the line. That's no good. Was not thinking, apparently. Either that or it got destroyed and I never replaced it. That's also a very real possibility. How's my fuel chest going? Yeah, fuel chest is fine. I'll just go throw this in there really quick. And, yes. So, there we go. That's steel. Next we need iron gear wheels. Yes. So, we're going to go grab some iron gear wheels. Well, not necessarily grab, but we'll set up the infrastructure so that they will be auto-grabbed. Graved, whatever, however you want to say it. I said that like I was correcting myself, but I was clearly being misleading, I hope. The hope was that I was being clearly misleading, but either way, I think that was a callback to oh man, what was it called? It's the greatest Gary Mod video ever made. That was based off of the story by Squirrel King. I can't remember the name of it, but that's where you get like the Weepon meme. Oh, we're still building a whole lot of chests. You know what? Let's just go ahead and get this going like this. No, we'll move that forward. We'll upgrade this later, but we'll do active provider chest and like that. Cool. We do need to be building smart arms to kind of regulate how that works, but for now, I'm not too concerned about it. Actually, that's more of a passive provider chest on that steel, the more I think about it, but either way. And then pipes. So we'll have to create a small pipe factory, and we can do that right here. Do we have any factories? We do not have any factories on hand, but we're almost done building chests, so let's go ahead and queue that up. That's going to need iron plate and copper plate. Okay, 1. And yeah, for now, we'll just leave it at that. Let's go ahead and yeah, we're not going to build that blue arm, or we're not going to build that blue arm down there on our gears just yet until because we actually need a smart arm for it anyways. And smart arms are as fast as blue arms, but you can do some fancy things with them, which I will explain as we go along here. So first things first, let's go ahead and do a blue factory. Dabu-dee-dabu-die. And a requester chest. And what do we need in order to make pipes? I think it's just iron, is that right? Yeah, just iron. And now we will actually do the smart inserter and the active provider chest. Whoops, I have plenty of active providers, but it's not going to hurt to have more. And there we go. So, smart inserter, we want to filter this so that we're not using every last bit of our iron on pipes, because that would be a little silly. It could come in handy to have a whole bunch of pipes, but realistically we don't need that many. So what we do is we set a condition. So logistics network condition, if the logistics network has 50 pipes, well, basically what it's saying is if there are less than 50 pipes in the logistics network, this arm will continue to operate. So if there's less than 50 pipes, they'll pull pipes out of there. If there is more than 50 pipes, they will leave them in the factory, and we'll get a couple that'll still be built, but that's fine. I don't have a problem with that personally. Okay, and then you will be... We're using the requester chest to request 50 iron plates, which is a little bit overkill, but iron plates are fairly plentiful, all things considered. And then we'll set up pretty much the same thing over here. Where am I getting attacked? Is anything getting destroyed? Need to zoom out? No. Okay, they held that off fairly well. I learned a couple tricks about walls watching Arumba's videos, but I will see about implementing them since I haven't really seen any proof that they are good one way or another. So here we go. We actually have our first necessity for our drones, which is taking iron plates up here. They move really slow. We'll have to do research to speed them up, and they only carry one thing at a time, which is also really slow, of course. So, what are we missing over here that's keeping these from being constructed? Anything? Batteries. Okay. So, we might want to go ahead and start moving batteries over here manually just to keep the production going. There we go. And you know what? You can go ahead and stop at 1,000. There we go. Don't need more than 1,000 batteries sitting around. And we are running kind of low on sulfuric acid, so we'll have to turn that production back on. Okay, so we drop off the batteries here. Where's my batteries? There they are. Cool. And we should be good on everything else here for the most part. What else does it need? Engine units. Engine units can be built freely as needed. And yes, now we have pipes being built. We are going to... Well, it'll stop at 50. Here, give it a second. You'll see for yourself. Any second now? Watching for it. Waiting for it. 1, 2. Oh, we're waiting for the next flux of iron to come in so we can actually build the pipes. Yeah, this is the very beginning stages of a logistics robot system. Trust me, it gets better. You can take my word for it, or... Yeah, you know, you'll see. You'll see. So there we go. 50. Arm stops working. We have pipes in here. Arm won't take them into the box. And there you go. That's how that basically works. And that's the entire premise for the entire logistics system. Now, I know there's probably people out there who are just like, why not just produce things infinitely and have an infinite number? And it's like, you know what? I don't feel like managing that. Plus, that would require an unbelievable amount of resource input that I am quite simply too lazy to really investigate. Or, what do you call it? Oh my goodness, words. Investigate. No. Invest in? Just invest? Yeah, that's more time and resources that I want to invest in than I feel like investing in. Okay, cool. So now we have everything set up to actually be able to supply this. So what we do is we replace this with a requester chest, and much like we did with the iron plates here, we're going to look, we need pipes, steel plates, and cogs. So we are going to tell it to pull in pipes, steel plates, and cogs. Cool. And how many do we need? 2, 1, and 1. I usually do enough for 10 in advance. So just whatever it requires times 10. Let the machinies bring it in there, and we're good. So there we go. First step taken care of. Next step, we just need electronic circuits because it needs lubricant, which is coming down this pipe, and the engine units are being provided here. So we're going to have to tell it to do 20 electronic circuits first of all, and then we'll go set up a... Whoa, that's way too many. We'll go set up an actual input for that. So let's go over here. We have an active provider chest. And let's make a smart arm for this. So we will be needing like an unbelievable number of these circuit boards in the future. So I'm going to actually have it pull several thousand from the track. Let's go Let's see. If there is less than... Let's go ahead and keep a buffer of 5,000. That sounds crazy. That sounds like a lot, and you're not wrong. However, they will all end up getting used in the long run. You'll see. Okay, cool. Next up is here. We're going to have steel plates, electronic circuits, and electronic engine units. So, once again, request your chest. So, we already have the infrastructure for everything except for the batteries. So, let's go ahead and make sure we have this right. So, we need steel, circuits, batteries. Steel, circuits, batteries. Alright. And in what proportion? We need 1, 3, 2. Okay, cool. So, 10, 30, and 20. So as you can see, that's already less than 30, so we've got all of our drones bringing in the excess there. Of course, I had it at 40 for like a split second, and they're going to bring in all of those. So, and then we turn this into an active provider chest. There we go. And then, yeah, you know what? We'll leave that like that for now. Just remind me later that I need to make sure we don't create 14 million batteries and end up sucking up pretty much all of our extremely valuable resources. Okay, it looks like plastic is more or less caught up and everything else, so we'll go back into sulfuric acid production, which is going to be mandatory here fairly soon with the number of batteries we're going to need to keep this production going. Okay, cool. Last but not least, yes, all of this is automated. And now for these guys, we just need 2 advanced circuits, so we'll set this up for 20. Oh, we're out of requester chests. Let's go ahead and do... You know what? It just needs advanced circuits, so I might as well just grab one. Yep, they're right there. Cool, requester chest. Give it a second. And then we'll have to create an output for this over here, which is also going to need a smart inserter. We'll get to that in a second. Requester chest. 20 circuits. Advanced circuits, specifically. Oh, that's 30. We just stop it. Okay. And yeah, is that going to work? Yeah, cool. So that is essentially automated, at least once we actually get the provider, smart inserters, all that other fun stuff is actually in place. Then, yeah, we've got one less thing to worry about. Let's go ahead and do this. And we'll do that. And I should be demonstrating how to use my own logistic slots, but I don't actually have any. Let me see. What do I need to do for logistic slots? Yeah, it's only 100 of each. Yeah, we'll get that research started going. And we're going to go over here and build our provider system for advanced circuits. Now, these are going to be substantially less than the others, but still pretty high. So we want to make sure we have 2,000 on hand. Okay. And this is a back buffer, and this will also keep them busy for quite a while. Make sure I'm getting my value out of these factories. So there we go. This is just, they are now pretty much solely dedicated to producing more and more of these circuit boards, and I'm going to have to expand on this very soon. But you can see how production starts getting kind of out of hand. And while this seems extreme on my 50-hour factory, I've got like 2 arms going on these ramps to just to store these, and I can't. And I'm already using... Well, okay, let me illustrate for you. I've got all 8 of these are blue. I've got 8 of these that are blue, and 2 arms that are pulling things into chests, all working at optimal rates, like they're all constantly functioning, and there's no delays. The resources are actually pretty fairly distributed, and there's still enough copper wire left over to go to 4 of these advanced circuits, and it's still not enough. Like, it takes a while for it to actually catch up on the number of circuit boards that I need for everything. So, yeah, just imagine all of this running at full tilt and still not being enough. Craziness. Absolute insanity. Okay, so, speaking of craziness and insanity, we will have to upgrade this a little bit. So, I'm going to go rob Peter to pay Paul for a second. And iron. Okay. Cool. Alright, this guy's getting a little out of hand. We're gonna have to put a minor stop to this. We still need quite a few. But we're going to set this so that if there is less than just 2,000, I think should do it, of these iron gear wheels, then, yeah, it won't continue to pull those out. So we're only up to like 600 or so, but that's fine. Where were we? We were building assemblers, so we need one more assembler just to make sure things are copacetic here. Okay. And we'll have 2 blue assemblers and 2 gray assemblers, and that's fine to start. Now, an interesting point was brought up to me, once again by Orko, that the actual pollution may refer to the rate at which these factories are running. So, like, these are still constantly running, and I don't know if that 3 pollution is referring to per second or, you know, per some other amount of time that we're not completely aware of. And then this one is pollution 2.4, so you would think that has less, but the really scary part is if it's referring to or if it's referring to pollution being measured by cycle. So every time it makes something like that, that's 3 pollution. This produces significantly faster but less pollution, so it might actually make more pollution. I can't speak to that. I don't honestly know how that works. So kind of scary. It's one of those like, well, my pollution's about to get a lot worse. Oh well, don't care. I'll just kill things as they come. And they'll wish they hadn't tried to stop my impending expansion into their basic lifestyles and habitats. So, oh wait, no, what? Why did it? So I've encountered this weird glitch more and more lately that's kind of upsetting, where I try to copy-paste things, and they end up doing that, where it's just a gear wheel, or something else that I had copy-pasted long before, and for whatever reason, like, that's shift right-click, shift left-click. Still does iron gear wheels. That really bugs me. Like, it bugs me in a way that is hard to define by sane means. Here we go. Let me just go back to this really quick. I'm going to stick with the yellow arms on output, which is fine as far as I'm concerned. That doesn't really bug me. So, once again, until I really, really sincerely need an upgrade to my production rate there. But as you can see, things are fine. This stuff is going to hold out for a while. We've got production here is just jamming along just fine. Yep, everything's getting replenished before it can be used. And that's basically the definition of full efficiency for at least what I have on hand. So, okay, character logistics slots 1. So now I can just do this and then request something like, what do I need? I want to produce more assembling machines. So really, what do I not have access to? I don't have iron plates set up. No, that's a lie. I do have iron plates set up. Okay, cool. So if I want to build an assembling machine, I'm going to need 9 iron plates. And let's just do... Whoa, that's way too many, but that's fine for now. And 5 gear wheels. Alright. Let me just sit here. Wait for a second. Cool. There we go. Assembly machine. Little drones bring me whatever I want. I can do whatever I want from anywhere I feel like. The power. The power. This is where the game really starts to change, because the logistics robots really, really just change the entire format of the game from this point onward. So, now we can actually do real research production here. Not this bullshit, wait around, run around, and get everything manually and stick it in a box to be processed a little bit at a time. Now, we can actually do for reals, absolute pro-level research. And on that note, however, I am going to end this episode, and next we'll set up that and reformat all of this so that there's enough room for 2 tracks of research. One half is going to be red and green, the other half is going to be just blue, and soon enough we will start doing purple research, I'm sure. But for now, I think this will do. I like where this is going. So what did we accomplish here today? We got our drones automatically producing themselves, so we're going to wait until they backlog a serious, not to be mistaken with the other backlog of my channel fame, if I could really call it that. I actually might just have embarrassed myself a little bit by actually thinking I have any fame whatsoever. Ooh, there's another thing we need to do too. We need to start light oil cracking, because as long as that's full, these aren't producing. So, yeah, they don't overproduce things and, like, waste oil. They just stop producing altogether. So, slowly but surely, we're going to run out of petroleum gas, and that's a real problem. But hey, at least our crude oil's backing up, and, you know, that's totally fine. But we're one step closer also to actually being able to upgrade our power performance, and that is some really, really, really good stuff. And, yeah, we're actually starting to get into the territory of having a real functional fancy factory. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you had, please consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you next time. Have fun.